Hello everyone, I am Pharmacist Tanmay Ghosal from Bangladesh. I am going to discuss about coronavirus's second strain and antibiotic effects. So let's discuss. Does the new COVID-19 strain transmit more easily? There is no clear-cut evidence the new variant of coronavirus, which has been detected in southeast England, is able to transmit more easily, cause more serious symptoms, or render the vaccine useless. Is the new variant of COVID-19 found in England more dangerous? On 14 December, the UK's Health Minister Matt Hancock told Parliament that a new variant that seems to spread faster had been identified. How worried should we be? There is no evidence so far that this new variant causes more severe diseases or that it can evade the protection conferred by any of the vaccines. How worried should we be? There is no evidence so far that this new variant causes more severe disease or that it can evade the protection conferred by any of the vaccines. Some lines of evidence suggest that it spreads more readily, but the evidence isn't conclusive. On 21st December, a UK expert committee on emerging viral threats said that they have high confidence that there is a substantial increase in transmissibility compared with other variants. There is still more data that we need to get to be 100% sure of this, says committee member Peter Harvey at the University of Oxford. How much faster is it thought to spread? The latest estimate is that it was 50% more transmissible than other circulating strains during England's latest lockdown. However, it isn't clear if this figure is true more generally. He says B1.1.7 is already responsible for 80% of infections in London. How did we discover these variants? Standard tests. Standard tests look for the presence of the virus. It is also possible to sequence the entire genome of the virus, which is around 30,000 ribonucleic acid, that means RNA, letters long, to look for any changes compared with previously sequenced samples. Researchers around the world sometimes sequences samples to track the spread of the coronavirus and see if it evolving. What does it mean if this variant is better at spreading? No matter how the virus changes, it needs us to be close enough to each other and to have interactions to let it jump between us, says Emma Hartcroft at the University of Basel in Switzerland. If we don't give the virus those opportunities, it simply can't spread no matter what variant it is. In other words, standard control measures such as wearing masks and social distancing will still work. The new tighter Tier 4 restrictions introduced in some parts of England, for example, will be effective if people follow the rules, but imposing such restrictions is obviously highly undesirable. Can COVID-19 be transmitted through feces or urine? SARS-CoV-2 RNA has also been detected in other biological samples, including the urine and feces of some patients. One study found viable SARS-CoV-2 in the urine of one patient. 3 studies have cultured SARS-CoV-2 from stool specimens. To date, however, there have been no published reports of transmission of SARS-CoV-2 through feces or urine. Is a smoker at a higher risk of getting the COVID-19 virus than that a non-smoker? At the time of preparing this Q&A, there are no peer-reviewed studies that have evaluated the risk of SARS-CoV-2 infection associated with smoking. However, tobacco smokers such as cigarettes, water pipes, biddies, cigars, heated tobacco products may be more vulnerable to contracting COVID-19 as the act of smoking involves contact of fingers and possibly contaminated cigarettes with the lips, which increases the possibility of transmission of viruses from hand to mouth. Smoking water pipes, also known as shisha or hookah, often involves the sharing of mouth features and hoses, which could facilitate the transmission of the COVID-19 virus in communal and social settings. Has the UK variant spread to other countries already? Yes. So far, confirmed cases of B1.1.7 have been reported only in Denmark and Australia, with possible cases in Belgium, Italy, and the Netherlands. However, few countries do as much sequencing as the UK, so many cases could have been missed. Given that the UK variant was first detected in September, it is possible that it has already spread to many more countries. We should find out soon now. Health authorities around the world are looking for it. So is it too late for travel bans to work? They will still help by preventing more introductions of the new variant and thus keeping down the number of cases and making them easier to control, says Hutcraft. The goal there is more to buy time, she says. What is different about the UK variant? The mutations that might change the shape of the spike protein may allow the virus to bind to receptors on human cells more strongly and thus get into cells more easily. This may increase viral replication in the upper airways. Initial results suggest there are more viruses present on average in swabs from people infected with B.1.1.7 than with other variants. There are also hints that it is more likely to infect children, says Ferguson. And the South Africa variant. Around 90% of infections in South Africa are now due to one variant. Sequencing suggests, but much less is known about it. This variant, called 501.V2, also has 17 mutations, but only one is the same as in the UK variant. This particular mutation, called N501Y, has been around for a while. It was first seen in Brazil in April and has been detected in several countries since. How unusual is it for the coronavirus to mutate? Not unusual at all. In fact, there are tens of thousands of mutants that differ from each other by at least one mutation, but any two SARS-CoV-2 coronaviruses from anywhere in the world will usually differ by fewer than 30 mutations, and they are regarded as all belonging to the same strain. Researchers instead talk about different lineages. Can this variant be detected by normal tests? The short answer is yes. However, some tests may need to be tweaked. The standard test for the coronavirus involves looking for any of three parts of the viral genome sequence. By chance, in some tests used by major labs in the UK, one of the parts is one of the mutated bits of the UK variant. This has turned out to be very useful. By looking at test results that came back positive for only two of the three parts, called S-gene dropouts, health authorities have been able to get a much better idea of how fast the variant is spreading than would be possible from sequencing data alone. Where did the UK variant come from? It very much looks like a point source in England, says Susan Hopkins at Public Health England. In other words, it came from a single individual. There is speculation that it could have evolved in the body of a person with a weakened immune system, meaning the immune response wasn't strong enough to kill off the virus, but did force it to evolve. This would help explain why it has more mutations than normal. Is antibiotics effective for coronavirus treatment? No. Antibiotics cannot prevent or treat COVID-19. Antibiotics work only against bacteria, not viruses. COVID-19 is caused by a virus, remember, and therefore antibiotics should not be used for prevention or treatment. However, if you are hospitalized for COVID-19, you may receive antibiotics because bacterial co-infection is possible. So please use face masks that must be 3-ply surgical. Take a pocket sanitizer before leaving home. Maintain social distancing. Keep distance from family after reaching at home, and contact with family after cleaning yourselves completely. Thank you very much. See you again with a new video. Have a nice moment, you all.